Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates. My recent Battlefront 2015 video is actually doing really well, and it seems like a lot of you are enjoying taking a trip down memory lane and revisiting the first game that DICE made. And I also realized when making that video how much I don't remember about the game, or more like when I notice it, I obviously remember it, but it's the kind of thing you don't really think about anymore when you play Battlefront 2, because you take all of those changes for granted. So in this video, I wanted to go over 10 things that you might have forgotten about Battlefront 1. Everything from ridiculous glitches to some amazing combos and other things that you may or may not miss from Battlefront 2015. And if you never played the game, you'll still find this video interesting, as you will probably learn something new if you've only played DICE's second Battlefront game. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor Elgato Gaming. And if you're interested in checking out any of their microphones, stream decks, green screens, key lights, or any other products they have for live streaming or content creation, make sure to check out the link in the description below, and you can also read more about which specific equipment I use as well. But now let's head straight into the video. Starting off, I wanted to talk about the flying pancake phase, because there was actually a glitch in Battlefront 1 that allowed 9ab, among a few other characters such as the Royal Guards, to actually fly. Because when you use the side roll with 9ab on a upwards hill, you would actually be sent flying. I still to this day don't really understand why it only works with 9ab and a few other characters, because the roll looks the same on all characters, but for some reason when you do it with someone like 9ab, you go flying. And on some maps such as this one, it was actually really helpful, as you were able to reach on top of this ship that you couldn't otherwise get to unless you had a jump pack. Next up, we actually have a weapon, the Krennic's DLT-29, something which, well, isn't a glitch or anything like that. It was just something I very fondly remember, because it was the first and only weapon, I think, in Battlefront 1 that did not have the overheat functionality that we now also have in Battlefront 2, or at least similarly, but you actually reloaded the bullets in it, and it was something I really enjoyed. And the Scarif DLC overall had some really good maps and heroes, so again, I was really happy when they brought back Scarif to Battlefront 2. But yeah, Krennic's DLT-29 was a blaster that I really hoped we would somehow get back into Battlefront 2, but unfortunately it never arrived. Next up, we have something that was one of my favorite things in Battlefront 1, well, when it still worked, which was the unlimited jump caster loadout. Basically, you had traits in Battlefront 1, something that was slowly upgraded the longer you stayed alive. And the bounty hunter trait had a chance to give you a power up on a kill, but when you maxed out the bounty hunter trait, it instead resets all your cooldowns when you get a kill. So just that sounds really OP. But if you then combine that with a jump pack and an incredibly overpowered bowcaster, it meant that you literally had unlimited jump packs. Because as you can see, all I gotta do is jump, shoot them in the air with the bowcaster, then when I land, all my cooldowns are reset so I can jump again and use the bowcaster again. So this was a combination of a lot of OP stuff, and this was very shortly after launch as well. The bowcaster was later nerfed, so you can't do this anymore in the game, because as you can see, the bowcaster is like a guaranteed kill if you just hit close to the enemy. It didn't require any skill at all. But when this worked, it really caused for some ridiculous plays, as you were just basically jumping around the map, killing everyone from the sky, and if they couldn't shoot you in the air, well, you were basically invincible. Another thing a lot of you might not remember from Battlefront 1 is the Ragdolls, because in Battlefront 1 you would randomly send someone flying 100 meters up into the air for no reason whatsoever, after you've killed them, obviously. So when you shot someone, their corpse would just go flying in any random direction, and this was really inconsistent as well. It could be when you threw a grenade on someone, but it could also be when you just shot them with a blaster. So it wasn't something that looked natural, if you get what I mean, but it just happened randomly, and you always laughed when it happened. So I thought it was a fun but maybe not very realistic addition. So obviously they did some extra work on the Ragdolls for Battlefront 2, as I don't think I've seen it happen on Battlefront 2, or not nearly as often at least. And then we have probably one of the worst glitches in Battlefront's history, in my opinion, the Lando Power Blast glitch. Basically, Lando had an ability that you could hold in to charge up called Power Blast, but you could also just spam click it to fire what was supposed to be a weaker version of it, but instead you could instantly kill anyone, including heroes, across the map, as it did an enormous amount of damage and had lock-on as well. You could literally destroy entire rounds if you picked Lando before he was fixed. It was ridiculous, because you could kill heroes across the map, and you could also kill AT-ATs in Walker Assault from full health. So this glitch was something that when you used it, you felt really, really dirty. Like, I remember I did it once for a video and I was like, I really can't do this again. Like, sure, there are some glitches that make something a little bit OP, but this was just destroyed the game, basically. And you might remember in Battlefront 2 when Palpatine was a little bit OP and can shoot people through the walls, he was actually taken out of the game, but that was nowhere near as bad as Lando was in Battlefront 1. So now in hindsight they should probably just have removed him from the game during that time, but it's fun to look back at that really OP power blast and all the horrible memories from it as well. Another not as common glitch was the invincibility glitch. This was something that I actually don't know if you could on purpose trigger, because I never had it happen and I didn't actually find anyone abusing it, but it was just something that randomly happened to a player. Sometimes when you had bad connection, sometimes when like someone crashed into Luke with a TIE fighter and your health bar just disappeared and suddenly you could go around killing everyone and they couldn't kill you. Obviously a very game-breaking bug, but like I said, I don't think it was possible to recreate it very easily, so it never really became a huge issue with the game, because if you could recreate it, yeah, I don't even want to think about how bad it would have been in the game. Pre-round emote parties. So in Battlefront 1 you actually had this timer before the game started where you were like stuck on the ground and, well, basically everyone just spammed their emotes. It was pretty fun, and if they released a new emote, obviously everyone would be spamming that as well. So it's not really something I missed, because I still thought it was quite annoying to have to sit there for sometimes upwards to a minute before the game started, but it was still really fun and something that I think a lot of you might remember fondly from Battlefront 1. Something I do not remember fondly, however, is the speeder bike team killing. For the majority of the game's time, actually, I don't remember for how long, but for a pretty long time, speeder bikes could one-shot heroes, which was obviously really, really OP. But if that wasn't bad enough, you could also use them to team kill your friendly heroes, because if you got off the speeder bike just before you hit the hero, it didn't count as a friendly fire, but it counted as a, I guess, neutral vehicle, and therefore you could go around, well, team killing friendly heroes. And you guys who have watched me for a long time might remember when I had some absolute rage sessions during live streams, when I had stream snipers who would just not leave me alone, and as soon as I got a hero, they would just come with the speeder bikes and team kill me, and I would get really, really pissed off. So yeah, that wasn't very fun, and the speeder bikes overall were very OP for a very long time. Another interesting glitch was the hero transformation / multiple hero glitch that allowed you to spawn both multiple heroes at the same time and also morph heroes, such as you could have like a Celestin going around with Palpatine's force abilities, but almost the worst part of it was if you merged Vader with someone, because you had a larger model, because if you merged Vader with someone, you would, I don't know, you would become a freak, basically, an absolute abomination, as you can see here when you merge like a Twi'lek with Vader. And this also glitched out the entire map, so everyone on the map would see these beams of light and black bars flying all over the place, and yeah, I may or may not have had some rage around that as well when stream snipers used that glitch to just annoy me during the live streams. But yeah, that was a quite fun glitch nevertheless that I think brought us some good memories, although at the time when it happened it may not have been so fun. And lastly, something I just couldn't not mention, the hero and vehicle tokens. Obviously you remember them if you played Battlefront 1, but you may take for granted how much better the hero system is now, because god, I hated those hero and vehicle tokens. The easiest way to get a hero in Battlefront 1 was basically to know exactly when and where a hero token would spawn and then camp there until it popped up. So it's not like right now we're in Battlefront 2 where you actually gotta go in and try to play the best to get a hero, but it was all about camping, which meant that it was usually the same players who always had the heroes who knew exactly when and where it would spawn. Really unfair for both good players and for people who play the objective or are just new to the game and don't know where those tokens will spawn. So I absolutely hated those hero tokens, and the most frustrating thing ever was always when you saw that hero token and then someone would fly in with a jump pack and snag it right in front of you. Trust me, that feels a lot worse than seeing the hero being available in the menu screen and being 2 seconds too slow to clicking on it. Yeah, the tokens, way worse, but luckily they removed them for Battlefront 2. But yeah, those were the 10 things I wanted to talk about from Battlefront 2015. What are your favorite memories from this game? And is there anything else you think a lot of us might have forgotten that you may or may not want to remember from Battlefront 2015? If you want more of these kind of videos revisiting some older games, or Battlefront 2 for that matter, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe for more Star Wars gaming content, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.
You